Imagine being a child living your life with nothing on your mind, only to find out that you have superpowers and must use them to protect yourself and your family. We Can Be Heroes was released in 2020 and is categorized as an action thriller movie. Our movie starts with a superhero named the Miracle Guy, who is talking with his superhero friend Techno, and suddenly when the two of them were talking, a message came to the Miracle Guy that there is an alien coming to Earth. The Miracle Guy used his superpowers and flew into the space where he met the alien and was filming what he was going to do for archive. But then the Miracle Guy found himself surrounded by a very large group of aliens, and they started beating the Miracle Guy so hard that he lost his consciousness. By this time, Techno's power was almost gone, but when he saw the Miracle Guy in this condition, he used the rest of his power and reported what had happened to the command center, and Techno and the Miracle Guy fell to the ground. Then we move to a girl named Missy, who wakes up and gets ready to go to school, and her father Marcus is watching the TV downstairs and finds out what happened to the Miracle Guy and Techno. Marcus works for the company which is responsible for superheroes, but Marcus promised his daughter Missy that he would never get involved in superhero matters. When the two of them have breakfast together, Marcus doesn't let Missy hear about what happened to the superheroes. Then he drives her to school and says, "Take care of yourself, sweetheart," and then he goes to the company. Afterwards, we see the head of the company who is called Grenada. When she finds out what happened to the Miracle Guy and Techno, she decides to call an urgent meeting with everyone in the company and try to find a solution to get the two of them back after they were captured by the aliens. Grenada wants to see what superheroes they have that can do the job, and decides that all the superheroes they have are going to go get the Miracle Boy and Techno back from aliens. Marcus said, "We're going to risk them all," but Grenada said, "No, on the contrary, they'll all help each other, and you'll be a superhero again." But Marcus said, "No, sorry, I can't. I promised Missy I won't do this anymore." But Grenada said, "Unfortunately, it's not up to you. It's an order, and you have to do it, Marcus." While Missy is at school playing with her friends, two people from the superhero company come to pick her up. When Missy tries to ask them where they're going and what they're going to do, no one responds to her. When Missy arrives at the company, she meets Grenada, who tells her, "Do you know what Daddy is doing right now?" Missy says, "Yes, he is in work. But what have brought me here while Dad promised me he wouldn't have anything to do with superheroes?" Grenada says, "Just stay out of trouble here." Then Missy goes to the superhero kids class, but Missy doesn't recognize any of them, so she goes in and sits on the disc that Grenada pointed to. Grenada said, "Good kids for sitting quietly and not making any trouble." As soon as Grenada locks the door and walks away, the kids start to get loud and make a lot noise. A guy named Wheels introduces himself to Missy and tells her that they call him by that name not because he is in a wheelchair, but because his muscles are stronger than his bones. Then a guy named Noodles comes along to introduce himself too. He tells her that they call him by that name because Noodles can stretch and twist himself and his neck like a spaghetti noodle. However, Missy gets to know a girl named Ojo, whose superpower is that she's very good at drawing, and when Missy looks at her drawings, she doesn't understand what Ojo means by them. And Wheels tells her that they're all the same, and no one understands exactly what Ojo is drawing. Then a girl comes up to them, and her name is Acapella, and Missy asks, "What is superpower?" And Acapella tells her that she has an unusual vocal range. She can sing with a very low pitch and very high pitch. She can also sing in a voice that only animals can hear, and she can even sing in a voice that moves the objects in front of her. As soon as she started to sing to show Missy her superpower, Grenada called her and said, "Stop making noises, Acapella. All the dogs are gathering in front of the company's doors." After that, Wheels introduces her to the rest of their teammates and introduces her to one named Slow-Mo, who is the son of Lightning Bolt and is actually slow. He moves fast for me, but his superpower makes him go through a time vortex. Wheels introduces her to their friend Facemaker, who was playing with Noodles and changing his face too many times that Noodles got angry and thought he was cheating. When Noodles breaks the table here, Wheels goes to tell their friend, whose name is Rewind, that he can turn back time by a few seconds. Wheels tells her that Rewind has a twin sister, but the two of them have never agreed on anything. Then he introduces her to their leader Wildcard, and Wheels tells her that Wild doesn't lack a single ability in the world. Wheels introduces her to the last member of their class, whose name is Gobi. Missy asks her, "How do you move the water like that?" Gobi tells her that when she drinks water, she can do that. When they turn on the TV, they realize that the superheroes are going on a mission to get rid of the aliens. All the superheroes are summoned up, and when Missy sees that her father is also on the superhero team, she is upset because her father didn't keep his promise to her. Then the superheroes go into a battle against the aliens, and each one of them tries to beat the aliens, but they can't deal with them because the aliens are stronger than they are. The superheroes began to fall one by one into the hands of the aliens, and then Marcus found himself alone in front of a very large group of aliens, and Missy, his daughter, told him, "No, Daddy, don't risk your life." But Marcus said, "I have to," and he raised his sword to attack the aliens, but he was also held captive by the aliens. Then the President of America comes out and says, "People of America, as you have just seen, all the superheroes have fallen into the hands of the aliens, and the armed forces are going in to bring them all back." The Facemaker is annoyed by the president's words and says, "How can this guy be president when he can't even speak 2 words at once?" The president then reads a message from the aliens. The message says that the aliens are from the planet Ojima, and that they are coming to conquer Earth as soon as possible. Granada appears on the screen and talks to the kids, telling them to stay in their place and not to be afraid of anything because this is the only place that is safe for them. The kids are thinking about their families and are willing to do whatever it takes to get them out of the aliens' hands. Missy told them, "Think about it. The aliens are going to attack us soon and we need to get out of this place quickly." They said, "How do you know?" Missy told them that Ojo has the power to draw what is going to happen in the future, and showed them all the drawings she had made of the things they had been doing for some time. Then they start discussing when Missy tells them that she's getting out of here, and that those who want to go with her are welcome, and those who don't are free to go. Wheels asks her where we are going to stay, and Grenada said that this place is locked down and there must be a lot of guards around. How are we going to pass them? But Missy says, "We have to figure it out before the aliens attack us." And then Facemaker takes her out to draw the attention of the security guards, so they enter the class where the rest of kids are. And then Missy tells the guards they need to get out of here because the aliens are about to attack the whole place. But the security guards laughed at them and told them not to come out. Then the kids started beating them up and knocking them to the ground, but then one of the guards activated the security alarm and an alien walked in and grabbed Wildcard. The kids tell Rewind to go back in time to save Wildcard and to prevent the guard from activating the alarm. After they did that, they ran out the door away from the security guards, after they took their ID cards so they could open anything with them. However, while they were running away, they found the security guards surrounding them from everywhere. So Acapella used her sound waves to send the security guards flying on the air, and the rest of her teammates went through the security guards and exited through the hole in the ceiling. When they got out, they went to the car, but they found Grenada standing in front of them with the rest of company workers. The kids tell Acapella to use her voice again, so they fly with the car. Acapella was able to do that, but halfway through the ride, she couldn't continue because her energy was gone, and Noodles got out of the car to help her, and they flew off again. But Acapella talked to them normally, forgetting that she was the one who was lifting the car, and the car landed in the middle of a garden. The garden is owned by a woman named Moreno, who is Missy's grandmother, and Missy says, "Grandma, we're in trouble, and we need to stay with you." We go back to Grenada, who wants to find all the children, and one of the people working with her tells her that he found a weak signal in the place where the children are, and he says that the signal is coming from the device in Missy's hand. So Grenada tells him, "Go after that device and tell us where they are." Then we see Moreno talking to the children and telling them that if anyone is going to save the planet from aliens, it's you. So you have to stick together to save your families too. Then Missy said, "We have to listen to Grandma and stick together." Then Moreno takes them to the garden and tells they have to train. She showed them some training, and the kids are happy to do it. But when Missy comes to talk to them and see what they're doing, she's annoyed as they don't know how to do the drills, and she gets annoyed and says to herself that they're not going to be able to do anything with that level. And then we go to the adult superheroes, and we see the Miracle Guy is fighting with 2 of his classmates, and Marcus says, "Stop what you're doing and think about the trouble we're in." Then the president calls them and tells them that their kids have disappeared from the company's building. After the Miracle Guy heard that, he said that the kids definitely don't know what to do, and they are afraid because there is no one to protect them. Then we go back to Moreno, who is resuming kids training. Then she goes to Missy and says, "Did you think you were going to succeed with them on the first try?" Missy said, "No, I don't look like I'm going to succeed at all." Then Moreno said, "You know, I've trained all the great superheroes you've seen." Then Moreno tells Missy that the greatest superhero was her mom. Missy didn't see that coming and said, "My mom was just normal like me." Moreno replied, "That's what made her great, because if your mom wasn't there, your father wouldn't be the person you are so proud of." Then, when Moreno saw the spaceships flying over the house, she opened a tunnel and told the kids to go hide in it. After that, an alien came out of the spaceship and captured her as well. Missy and the rest of her friends are discussing about how they can find their families. After a while, they get out of the tunnel. Missy agreed with Wildcard to tell their friends that they should take over a spaceship and search for their families. They all liked the idea and decided to go for it. When they were about to get on the ship, Slow-Mo ran to get them, but he was running very slowly. After he entered the ship just before the aliens caught him, they kept telling Wheels to fly them up, but he couldn't do anything, and the aliens were destroying the ship until Gobi pressed a button that made the ship fly away. Then they found that the ship is taking them to the main ship in space where they could find their families. And as soon as they got off the ship and started walking, the aliens started attacking them as they walked until they got to another place. Suddenly, they saw the president there, and they're thinking that maybe he's an alien. But then Grenada also appears and tells them, "How do you steal one of our vehicles?" How do you leave the company building in such a mess? And how do you get on a spaceship and go to the space? You guys are really good at what you did, and it seems like we underestimated your abilities and you took a big risk, but it was the right thing to do and I'm very pleased with all of you. After all this, the president comes to Grenada, and we find out that they are aliens and that she has been fooling them all this time. Grenada tells her people to go lock them up anywhere, and she tells the kids, "You will never get out no matter what you do." Then we see the miracle guy trying to open the door, but he can't. And then they see that someone is hiding his face. Each of them tries to hit the person, but they can't until they realize that this person is Moreno Marcos's mother. They all stunned when they saw her. Moreno tells them that you are all selfish and everyone is only thinking about himself. We go back to Missy and the others thinking about how to get out of there. Gobi tries to open the door, but she can't because she doesn't have the water that gives her the power to do anything. Missy had the idea to scare the kids and them that they are in danger and that they will never get out, in order to make them cry and collect their tears, and gave them to Gobi. The plan worked and Gobi was able to turn the key with her power, and they opened the door. We go back to Techno, who manages to turn on the security cameras so that they can see what's going on. All the superheroes is seeing their kids on the screen and are happy that they got out of the place where they were locked up. Then we see Missy telling Wildcard to kill the aliens first to make it easier for them to save their families. But Wildcard says, "Now we can't kill them alone. We'll go first and save our families, and then we'll take care of aliens." By then, everyone is with Missy, except for Facemaker, who goes with Wildcard to save his family. Then the Grenada guards attack Missy group, but they manage to beat them. Then the guards increased in number, and they were able to chain them up. But Rewind and her twin sister go back in time and beat the guards. Grenada saw Wildcard face on the security camera while he was standing in the hallway and sent her men to attack Wildcard. They managed to catch him and lock him up. When Grenada goes to talk to Wildcard to interrogate him, the face changer impersonated Wildcard. Then we see Oho going to tell Missy that they can't do anything, but Missy told her that she has nothing to do with them and to go to the aliens that she works with. Missy knew that Oho was an alien. When she saw a drawing of her with alien hands on her tablet, Oho then drew aliens on her tablet to try to attack the kids. And that's when the battle begun, with the kids teaming up to take out the aliens. At the same time, Wildcard is beating the Grenadians' men and holding her in place with his ice. Then we go back again to Missy, who is trying to catch Oho and take the tablet from her to stop the aliens that are attacking them, but as she's running, she gets caught and Noodles pull her back with his hand. Wheels took the device, but Oho hit it and fell to the ground, and when Noodles tried to grab it with his hand, he couldn't. Slow-Mo jumped, grabbed the device, Wildcard took it, and they activated the pyramid, and their families came out in front of them, and the kids were very happy. That's when they realized that it was all training to make each of them a superhero to protect the planet from alien attack. That's the end of our movie. Tell us in the comments, what movies do you like to see next? See you in a new movie tomorrow. Bye-bye.